come to the bold analysis, William Samoei Ruto is in a very tight spot. This is because of the recent onslaught that Raila Odinga is leading and has come out charm offensive clearly that he is inheriting Raila Odinga's supporters, Ruto's supporters. And the critical intel here is that the public is listening to what Raila Odinga is saying. Raila yesterday was in Nairobi CBD after boarding a matatu from, I think, Rongai all the way to town, interacted with Kenyans there. Then today, Raila was in Kenyatta Market. Kenyatta Market is a place where politicians have always gone there. I remember Uhuru Kenyatta, during his time, went there and also interacted with the commoners there, in a very clear gesture that Raila is going back to the people. Now, where he is going is where William Ruto was before. We had always projected himself as people's defender. He's now going back to wananchi. So let me tell you, someone is asking, how is this William Ruto in tight spot? I want to explain for you why Ruto is in a very unfamiliar ground. Kindly subscribe to our channel. We are still reminding you, we are closing Sarah's last expense fundraiser tomorrow, Wednesday, by midnight. So reaching out to you, and I want to say thank you very much for those who have been supporting this. We lost this lady after a battle with acute leukemia, and she was one person that we supported in this channel throughout the medication under the Bold Charity Network. So when she died on 26th June, and came in as Bold Family to support the family during this moment, the mortuary bills, last expense, and the welfare of the child that has also remained. So that's why we did the 100 shillings challenge, and I want to say very many thank you for those who are responding. We are finishing tomorrow, and I'll be so grateful for you. Ruto has never been where he is. He has never been. And he has never been there in his political career. If I can take you back to 2007, that is when then he was close to Raila. By that time, he was part of the Pentagon team, and Raila was in the space of the people. In 2013, they emotionally whipped Kenyans with Uhuru Kenyatta using the ICC. Okay, so in his political journey, he's been more of that. By that, he actually won the sympathy votes and were in a position to galvanize support base from both Kikuyu and the Kalenjin community. Then come 2017, he pushed through with Uhuru Kenyatta, and actually lost that election. 2022, William Ruto again got himself in the sympathy zone. So in his political playbook, he has been thriving in the sympathy zone. What he did in 2022 was, I have been chased out of government with Uhuru Kenyatta, despite the fact that I'm part of the team that formed this government. The other thing that he also said was that there was a lot of sympathy stories. I was ejected from Mombasa, home, residence. My security have been scaled down. It was a bit of how he was attacked, or now how Uhuru Kenyatta handled him. Or I've also been ejected from Jubilee Party. So he won. He actually galvanized his support base using that. Now that he's in power and is now in a seat, the driver in the seat, he's finding himself in a situation where he's supposed to offer solutions, and the sympathy cannot is not tenable. I don't know, and I think it's very true that President William Ruto cannot come and tell people that they want some sympathy from Kenyans. You know, they've been trying to portray that deep state, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila are trying to interfere, and that's why maybe things are not moving. But that's not it, because they are the ones in the wheel. Now, while currently Ruto presents an image of betrayal. And the truth of the matter here is that Ruto is just in denial. But as things stand now, he doesn't mirror. His presidency do not mirror what was projected at the campaign trail. I need to repeat that. 9 months in power, his presidency have failed to mirror what was projected at the campaign trail. It's two worlds. It's got day and night. Now, Raila have come out charm offensive, facing hustlers in a big way. And now, that is what is worrying Ruto. What was projected at campaign trail was a man who was one of them. Someone who will even, at campaign trail, you will even not even reason that when Ruto becomes president, he will be he will be a very high class person. People always thought that they will see a mamamboga in Ruto. Rather, they will see some butchery person in President William Ruto. But that is not it. Surrounded with the power, now things are not coming out. Now, looking at Raila Odinga's move and how Raila has maneuvered his way through, there are very clear signs that things are falling apart. And in my opinion, Uhuru Venom is haunting William Ruto. They are very clear something, and I want to speak about this. I want you to listen. Ruto is suffering one of the most dangerous tragedies. That is DSP, diminishing state persuasion. When a president loses state persuasion, the persuasion power, I am telling you, that is when you will realize that power is off your shadow. Uhuru lost state persuasion in the last days of his reign. And even his region where he is born, he tried to ask them that, look here, I know William Ruto, he's been my deputy. I know what he's made of. You are making a blunder. You rather stick and support Raila Odinga. But he lost that state persuasion. And he did not win the trust of the people. As we speak now, that which, and the reason why Uhuru lost it is because of what Ruto did. Ruto planted the venom. Now, who is planting anti-Ruto venom? I am seeing Ruto has lost state persuasion, and this is what is happening. Can you look at the level of court cases, the speed at which he's losing court cases? You can lose one. In a year, you can lose two. But you cannot lose. Cases that government is losing is alarming. Finance bill, it's grounded. The court. CAS, it is trashed. Let me tell you, the impact of CAS positions is for William Ruto to galvanize power and to galvanize people and to make those people around him comfortable so that they will not veer off from the political power. Out. Revenue allocation formula now has also been squashed by the court. So the level at which he's losing cases is actually telling you that he has even lost the state persuasion in court. There is something called state persuasion. The power of that deep state to say that, look here, I know Okiya Omtata is presenting this case. And you know, Okiya Omtata is saying he's been approached by those in power for him to shelve that petition against finance bill. And he's saying he was paid some 200 million. As to whether he's trying to emotionally, I think maybe it's not substantiated, but the objective of that statement, something I read from that statement, he's trying to say that William Ruto, or rather the deep state, is trying to get dubious means to do that. But I will not doubt him. You know why? I will not doubt him because Silvanus Osoro is on record confirming to the country that they had to bribe Azimio MPs, and even some of them then not to be in parliament, for that bill to pass in the National Assembly. They're saying it. Osoro is on record confessing that they bribed MPs so that that bill would pass. Look at court cases. They're losing it. As I speak to you now, government officials are struggling to explain even what is government agenda. Trying to sample interviews, listen to interview panels where there is one person who's an MP, and some expert, and maybe some governance expert, and the hosts. You'll realize that even government officials seems to lack clarity and priority in terms of what exactly their dockets are doing. And one thing is, even cabinet secretaries are dodging appearing in parliamentary committees, Senate and parliamentary committees, to ask queries. They are just dodging. That is something that has actually been raised. I remember C.S. Bore recently was coming under sharp criticism from the House leadership when Kimani Ichung'wah said that she's been dodging summons that have been issued by the National Assembly. So it's because they cannot explain. The other second is just under diminishing state persuasion. The other observation I can make on this diminishing state persuasion is government is hiring bloggers, and these bloggers, if you follow them keenly, they are trying to defend William Ruto. These bloggers are not even defending government agenda. They will, I think in a day, you'll sample someone saying that, praising the personality of William Ruto, saying this is the best man that this country have. Those is kind of posts they're making, that you guys need to give William Ruto time. He's just coming here for the first time. Everyone has a first time. And in terms of a country, it is the first time that William Ruto is becoming a president. But it's not the first time that Kenya is having a president. We've had a president, so we've had transitions. We've had continuity. And when he was asking for this job, he knew what exactly is entailed. So government bloggers, the messaging, if you check Twitter, check what Pius Kinuda is doing, that Muhendo lady, that's Jen Kialo. If you check what they're typing, what they're saying about government, they're just trying to be in a denial mode. To deny that things are bad. First accepting, but denying that, look here, yes, the price of wheat is this, but I think this. Denial. Second clear signal that things are falling apart is the grand betrayal. There seems to be a lot of wailings and regrets. Yes. Those who believed that they campaigned for William Ruto are feeling like they've been sidelined and they're not part of it. And they're now coming out. Aoko Maverick, who has been very vocal on how William Ruto and the team, UDA team, have paid her university fees, have been paying her rent, and are doing what, and a couple of other foot soldiers are either not defending government or are silent. There is some awkward silence around those who had been initially around power. So there is the general wailing and regrets. Lastly, look at the crowds milling around Raila Odinga. Look at those crowds. The crowds milling around Raila Odinga is something you cannot underestimate. I was in Kamkunji. I went to Kamkunji and I was there, I think, for nearly like 1 hour. So if you sample the good Kenyans that were there, They were quite from almost all parts of Nairobi. And immediately Raila left and Raila said, we are going to town. If you look the video that was highly shared, that video, now look, I think this video here. If you check this video, you realize that the whole lot, quite majority of those who were in that stadium were actually willing to go with Raila to town. The crowds are milling around Raila. Politicians have now, it's just some few people that have now gone vocal attacking Raila. But in real sense, things are falling apart. So that's my bold. Thank you very much for watching. I would want to pick your thoughts clearly because I will have to revisit this topic. Why Ruto has lost state persuasion. He's lost it. And I can just say something. One of the tools of state persuasion is the media. And but then even if things were bad, but Uhuru Kenyatta tried. He had a very good relationship with the media. I think over his term, that's one thing you will actually realize. Even though they were, the first time there were a lot of some draconian laws that were brought up on gagging media, but towards his exit, he really tried to work with media. Probably it was for the for making sure that his messaging gets to the people. Ruto has failed to pay pending bills to the media house. And so, then he's not seemed to be caring even for the people. Because even the media, which is a tool, a medium of persuading the people, has failed. But more of these attacks of, you've already profiled the media as people who are with the Azimio. So, and then what happens? They have to look for where the audience is. And if the audience is the population, if people want to hear what Raila is saying, then you realize that in a week, Raila will have to be in the headline 4 times because people need to sell those newspapers. Let's meet in the next.